We got hammered for decades, that fat was bad for you. Literally, everything was about how bad fat was, which is hilarious. There's the picture right there. We'll post that up on this video. But it's crazy considering fat, especially fat, is an essential macronutrient. In other words, if you don't eat enough fat, you die. I don't care what your calories are. In fact, there's a condition, I can't remember the name of it, but trappers and hunters in the wilderness of the Midwest, back, I don't know, 100, 200 years ago, some of them would starve to death even though they would catch tons of rabbits to eat. Yeah, but they would starve because the rabbits were so lean. So I forgot the name of it, but it was like rabbit starvation or something like that. And they would die or go mad because they didn't have enough fat. And here we are telling people fat is bad for you, which is now on that tip. I'm sure you'd get clients like this. I used to all the time where, especially females, they show up, you talk to them about their food, and you're like, let's increase your fat and see what happens. And then boom, my skin looks better. My hair looks better. I have so much more energy. I feel better. My libido's back. Like,
well, and the thing is, it's like healthy fats are so important for so many different things in the body. So it's like if we're talking about, joint health, if we're talking about, like you said, skin and skin conditions, that's absolutely huge. Especially, when we're talking about omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids, it's like if you have a super inflammatory diet, we can change a lot of those inflammation levels, and that shows up in things like your skin and your hair and how you feel in the day-to-day and how you recover from workouts. Dietary fat is so important for your thyroid health, your menstrual health. It's a part of and helps with your hormones as a whole. And so it's like, again, like the best way of eating is when we're consuming all the things. And it's like, for sure, if we're in a calorie deficit, we have to take calories from somewhere. But it's like, especially, again, I tend to work with the population of individuals that menstruate. And so it's like a couple different things, but it's like I'm always going to be really mindful of how low I'm taking somebody's fat levels, because you start to see that where it's like, if somebody comes to me and they're like, hey, my menstrual cycle has been missing the past year or two, and you look at food logs and you're like, oh, well, you're eating like 35, 40 grams of fat. Like, I'm not surprised. And it's almost like it's a joke, right? Because it's like maybe 2 or 3 months later, you start dialing up their food. Maybe they get up to, 60, 70 grams of fat.